Yo, man, how you doing? So, in this second part, we're going to talk about another mental concept that is so important and vital to your success as a music producer in dance music. We're talking right now music production. So, you have to have self-awareness. Self-awareness is the most important thing when it comes to pursuing anything in life. When we finally started to feel momentum was when we knew exactly what we were doing, what style we were going for, what elements we were going to put together. So, for example, if you're going to make a certain style of house music, what elements, what vibe? Like, I mean, it's a feeling, obviously, right? Because you don't know exactly pinpoint this type of sound, but you know exactly what vibe you're looking for, right? If you ever want to grade yourself, whether if you're very beginner or more of an advanced producer, it's how you can drive the track as you produce in the direction that you want it to go. I remember when I first started producing, I would go with a cool. I would find a cool sound. Oh, that's a cool sound. And I just totally forget the idea that I was going for, and then the track would just become something totally different than what I first intended it to be. That's number one: having self-awareness and having clarity, right? And then another level deeper under self-awareness is knowing how teachable you are. Is essentially keeping track of your ego and how receptive you are to new information. I'm going to talk about what is called the Teachability Index. So, Teachability Index consists of two parts, and one is your willingness to learn. How much are you willing to invest in yourself? Willing to buy a course online? Are you willing to get some coaching? Are you willing to DM some people for some feedback? Are you willing to get criticized for your music and get feedback? Are you willing to release your tracks on SoundCloud even though you might feel a bit insecure about putting them up? All those things are important. It's a process of letting go, and yes, your ego might get hurt, but it's very, very important. So grade yourself between 1 and 10. How much are you willing to learn? Are you willing to go to a conference like Winter Music Conference in Miami or Amsterdam Dance Event? All these conferences are huge learning opportunities for us as producers, but they cost money, right? And so, what's your willingness to learn? Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of cash, work a little bit extra? Grade yourself 1 through 10. And the second part of the Teachability Index is your willingness to accept change. Are you willing to move out of your house to pay cheaper rent so that you could get a job that doesn't require as many hours so that you can focus more on music? Are you willing to let go of friends that aren't serving you? Friends that distract you and don't provide positive energy? Are you willing to reduce your amount of time you go out? Are you willing to make sacrifices? One of the things that have really helped us is forming a social circle that is all musicians. We struggle to make friends with people that aren't either creators or not music makers. Being part of that energy and that creative circle, it's a momentum forward, right? It's also accountability. People, they hold you accountable. Even if they're not telling you, you see them working their ass off in their craft, you're going to want to do the same. It's crazy because you see things happening with your friends and you're like, man, I can't stay behind. Rather than when you have friends that are not doing anything and you're the only one that's eager to make your dreams come true when your friends are just playing video games. It's hard. Write yourself between your willingness to learn from 1 through 10 and your willingness to accept change 1 through 10, and you combine and you multiply those two. That's your teachability index, right? You can't have a high teachability index if you have a very high degree of willingness to learn, but you're not willing to accept change. They go hand in hand. You have to be able to learn and apply it, and you have to be able to make sacrifices in your life so that you can move forward. So that is your teachability index. And it all comes down to self-awareness. And it's a good way to measure where you are. And it varies, but it all comes down to self-awareness. If you're self-aware, if you can see how big your ego is in that moment, like, oh man, I think I'm hot shit right now. Oh shit, let me fucking humble myself a little bit. That's a teachability index, guys. And really want to thank you for watching the second part of the mental concepts video, the law of attraction. So don't hesitate to send us some tracks, guys. We're here to help. We're trying to build a community of producers as we come up. So yeah, catch you later.
Forever is a metaphor for now.